Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the video. I'm going to be showing you a game on MUROVANKA in the T100 LT, and I absolutely love this vehicle. It is very powerful at tier 10. I used to not like it so much, and then I realized I just don't think I was playing it right. This thing is very versatile, right? It can spot, it can do damage, it's extremely fast, it's very mobile. And its concealment is great, and it's very low to the ground. It can even go hull down because the turret actually has some armor, right? Doesn't have a lot of gun depression, but you can make things work if you pull up in a proper way, right? In a unique way to kind of reduce your need for gun depression, right? So this game was very interesting, and the reason I say interesting is because we left the east wide open. And you might say, oh, Whirls, well, I see this, all the time. I don't, but I believe you. World of Tanks, when you get into these random games, you just never know what your teammates are going to do. We have the Vickers and the FE215B. Everyone else went to the west side of the map. We had no support over here. I think it's just because we probably lacked mediums. I see we have like the Vickers and the UDES, and that's really about it. Might have like one more medium over here, but maybe that's why. But their team pushed this pretty hard with some tank destroyers, and they're light, and a couple of their heavies and whatever. And so I kind of start running away from here, but then I'm thinking, well, if I can get a spot for this FE215B or something like that, or for the TDs that are sitting over in this corner right here, right? Because I have TDs supporting me in this area, and I have people supporting me in this area, and I'm thinking chances are likely if I can get a spot here, someone will be able to hit that person. Right? And so that's what I'm hoping for. I'm just seeing if I can maybe counter if like the AMX 13105 is going to make a pass right here or just something. I'm trying to give the team some kind of information before I FO from this area, right? And so that's what we're doing here. Later on, we're going to have to go passive, right? We're going to have to go passive, and I'm going to show you guys why you want to play your light tanks the way I played mine in this game. Why you want to be passive sometimes, why you want to be aggressive sometimes, but playing passively won us this game, and I will show you that once we have to run away from this east side of the map. So we spot the FV here. I'm putting myself in a very dangerous position. I don't have to be here, but I like to try and kind of counter a push from the enemy team on the east side, and maybe try and give our guys just a tiny bit more time on the west, because when you spot people, oftentimes they pull back, right? They don't want to just run through because they're not sure where everyone is on the map yet. It's very likely that a lot of these tank destroyers haven't been spotted. They don't know where these people are. But eventually they're going to find out. Once the Vickers starts running away, he's kind of giving their team like a hint, like, okay, no one's really here to support our, no one's here to support this side of the map for our team. And so the enemy team's going to push in, right? And here's the AMX 13105. He's kind of leading the charge, and then that leads the IS-4 to go, all right, I guess I'm good, and then everyone's going to start pushing in. Once I run over here, I put myself into another little situation where this was kind of risky, right? But because the T100 LT has such good torque and such good mobility, all I do is I put these trees in between me and where the 105, the 13105 was poking around, and we run away. And what I'm going to do is put myself in this bush line here. This is all I have to do. I grab the concealment of the bush plus my own. It would basically take a proxy 50 meters, right, to spot me, or a light tank with CVS to spot me, and it would have to be like within probably 130 or 140 meters or something like that. It'd have to be very close, right? So I'm going to put myself in this bush line. Be careful of the gaps, guys. I always tell you this. See how I'm kind of sticking out a little bit here? I do adjust myself eventually. I look at that. I see that. I like turn the tank, because this is what I do when I get in bushes. I look like this. Do this whenever you're getting in bushes, guys, because you might be sticking out. Turn the camera around. You could do that. And just look like this. You kind of like, you might have to hold control. I don't think so. You could just turn like this, right? On the replay, sometimes it's a little bit different. But like in order to get my mouse cursor, I have to hold control. But turn around and just see. Like, make sure you're covered, right? Make sure you're covered. And this way you don't get spotted when you think you're not going to get spotted, right? So now what I'm going to start doing is going on fast forward just a little bit so you guys can see what we're able to spot here. We're countering the 105. The 105 gets really close to me there. I might have been okay, but I'm nervous. I'm thinking this guy is running CVS. I don't want to get spotted here and not be on the move. So I decide to take the shot, clean him up, and run. Ho rebounces me there, pretty wild. And now I'm going to sit in this bush line here. Now in this time we did almost 6k spotting. It gets up to over 6k spotting. And sitting in this bush isn't going to do much. I'd like to return to this one, so eventually I do. I'll just go and put it on 2 times while we're waiting here. And look at everything that we spotted, guys. We didn't do any active scouting like the 105 was doing, because the 105 is trying to push, right? Makes it a little more tricky and challenging for him because he actually has to advance. We're just defending. We're just sitting in a bush. That's all we have to do, right? So I'm going to return to this bush. I was kind of nervous because the IS-4 might be close enough to spot us, but we have like over 50% concealment with this setup in the T100 LT. CVS in the scouting slot, very important, guys. Optics, bounty low noise exhaust, and then the optical calibration. The IS-4, no way he can spot me. And another thing I'm going to note is that, see how the terrain goes up a little bit here? See how the terrain does something like this, you know? And then it goes up a little bit again, and there's bushes. There's like some bushes here. There's a little bit of grass, like right here and stuff. I'm telling you guys, I know you think that I'm just like trying to make something up or just talk as the video is progressing, but these things are so important to note because it might just require a slightly different angle to spot someone that you're trying to spot, because this, you know, part of the map, this area with this little bush line isn't working because of the way the terrain goes up a little bit here and because of the way this guy is approaching in the bush line, right, in those couple of bushes over there. Now EBR 105 is going to advance here, and when I run away from this guy, because eventually I do, he gets really close, I'm going to show you how a different angle is able to spot this IS-4. So pay attention to this, guys, and understand, like, this is how you have to kind of do the things, right, when you're spotting. So I'm going to take a shot at this 105. I make sure I focus it. I'll just give you my camera angle as I'm running away here. This is literally what I do. I look at the enemy rather than behind me, which sometimes is not a good thing. You should be looking at both. But I like to look at where the enemies are as I'm running away to see if they are poking out and if they're going to have a shot at me, right? So now what I do is I sit here in this bush line, and this is uphill a little bit, and look, we spot the IS-4. Did you notice how we weren't really spotting him when we were sitting here? And I'm going to show you that. I'm just going to pause for a second so you can see this. See how the terrain kind of goes up and there's bushes here, and we just might not been able to spot him. The angle wasn't right, or he was in the bushes enough where we couldn't knock down his concealment enough. What concealment he has, I don't even know. I don't think heavies really have much at all. But you guys understand what I'm saying here. Sometimes it just requires a different angle. We're much further away from him, but we are spotting him. And you can tell that when this guy takes shots here that we're getting all of that spotting, right? So don't be afraid to try different angles, guys. You might see a video where a light tank player is like, this is the perfect bush, quote unquote, perfect bush. You know, they're trying to get views. I've even done it before. Let's be real. 763, again, all of our spotting. But sometimes it requires that you go out of that perfect bush and find another bush. Like in the EVA 90, I used to do this all the time. I would literally put the tank in grass because you could hide it in grass. I mean, the thing is like a meme. It's hilarious what you can do with EVA 90. And it would work for one game, and then the next game, and this spot was countering the EBR very well as well, right? We move out of the bush line. Foch is able to spot me. And what do you know, man? Sitting in this bush line, I wasn't able to spot him. Why? Because of the buildings or whatever, you know, that were in the way. I guess it was this building that was in the way. As soon as we went like this, our angle was different, right? I know a lot of people understand this. I know this is like a 2 + 2 = 4 thing for most people, but I have to explain these things to you guys because some people just think you can sit in one bush and you're fine for the whole game. You need to move around sometimes, guys. You need to get different angles, right? And that angle allowed us to counter the EBR 105. It allowed us to get a better spot on the IS-4. And now that we're moving here, we're also getting spots on the Foch. I'm testing his view range. This guy might be running optics or he just has really good view range, right? I'm not sure about the Foches. I've never played them. But we are able to kind of counter him again there, spot him. And I think it's actually the 268 that's getting the spot on him, perhaps. Maybe the 103B gets it later, but we didn't get that spotting, right? So again, I hope this helps you guys out, right? On MUROVANKA, you're trying to get better angles. You're trying to find the best spots you can to counter the enemy team, right? And sometimes it requires you to move around quite a bit. We've done 8836 spot and we only have 467 damage, but we haven't had to do damage in this game. We've had to spot, right? For our tank destroyers in the back, we have a lot of heavy hitters back here. We have the FE 4005. We did have a 183. We have an E4. We have a 103B that's like an aimbot. Like, this thing has ridiculous accuracy, right? We have all these guys back here that need to shoot something, right? And so I'm going to provide that for them. I'm going to provide a red tank for them to shoot at, right? And that's all we're doing here. Again, 2 + 2 = 4, right, guys? Just keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid, right? And that's all we're doing, right? So now it gets to a situation where I think we're going to win this game. We've brought it back. We've done 9k spotting. I want to get some freaking damage in this game, so I'm going to advance. And what can I do? I can run right down the one line. The Gorilla's never going to spot me. I have plenty of concealment. There's no way this guy will light me. And we're going to advance here, and we're going to pop up into this bush line, and we're going to try and get a shot into this guy. He starts pulling back a little bit. I can understand he's getting spotted. He doesn't want to get hit. But we're going to keep advancing, and as you can see, we will find Artie over here as well. You will see, right? And something else to note here, again, the gun depression with the T100LT, be very, very careful with this. The gun depression is just really weird, you know. It doesn't have any gun depression, so you have to poke up onto ridgelines in a very unique way to eliminate that need for gun depression, as I like to say. Now, we clean up the Artie. I think he only had 80-something HP, probably because one of our Artie countered him. You guys know you can do that. You look for the tracer on the Artie round, and you can counter it. So we only had to put one shot into the Artie. And now we're going to advance. We're going to go after the Gorilla, just giving you guys my camera view for this last little bit of the game here. Vickers is able to counter both IS-4 and the FV over there, and he's able to get some assistance from other guys. We get a couple more shots into the Gorilla here, and that's the game, guys. So I hope this helps you out on MUROVANKA. I hope you can learn from watching this video. Again, I always state I am not a Unicum player. I'm good. I don't even want to say very good in light tanks. There's people that are a lot better than me, but I am good in light tanks, guys. As for World of Tanks in general, I would say I'm a good player, but I'm not great, okay? So I make a lot of mistakes, but my goal in showing you guys this video is to reach that average player audience so you guys can see how you should be playing your lights, because there are so many people in this game that play mostly tank destroyers or heavies. They don't understand how to play lights. They don't fully understand the game mechanics. They think you're just supposed to run out and spot people all the time, and that's not how the game works. MUROVANKA is an example of where you can actually play a light like you should be playing a light, right? You can actually get a lot of spotting. There's a lot of maps in the game that don't require spotting really until maybe the end of the game, right? So if you're one of those newer players, guys, especially if you're playing the EBRs, you don't have to run out there and do donuts the whole game. Keep it passive. Keep it simple, right? And then when you actually need to spot, like we did when the whole East was lost and the team was pushing in like this, we actually had to spot. We went passive. We weren't even being aggressive with it. We went passive. We grabbed the bush because the T100LT is able to do that. Insane concealment, right? Very low to the ground and fairly thin, right? So it's easy to sit in, you know, decent sized bush like that, and that's what we were able to do, guys. 9,200 spotting, right? So that's it. I hope this helps you out. I always have to, you know, talk about how most people that play World of Tanks don't know how to play lights, right? So here we go. Here's the M plates, guys. 92, 52, 1370. Nothing was blind. We did over 10k spotting in this game. Here's the team score in case you recognize anybody in this game. We were top by experience here, 1,075 base experience. I think it was a wonderful game. It might be my record in the T100LT for combined. We did like 10,500. I think I've done 10k before. I know I've done 12k and some change in the even 90. I think that's been my best game in terms of combined ever, right? And my assistance record is just over 11k. That you can even see, like if you went to my service record, I think it is, you can see that. Here's the detailed report, guys. I'm out. I know this video has been pretty long. I hope this helps you out. I will catch you guys for the next one. Take care until then, and bye-bye now.